Alright, this is my tutorial on using the pattern sequencer. So I'll start off by changing the pattern to a user one, and then opening up to a new initialized pattern with nothing in it except for pianos so far, up until pad 8, where I get a kit, and that's usually where I start to pick. So I'll just start with a pop kit here because I don't particularly care, and then I will change over here my pattern length. Typically I will switch that to be 8 just to get as much as I can out of it. Hit enter. With copying is fine for now because I don't have anything in there. And then just select a tempo ahead of time if you want to as well, just for your count in. To be easier for this one, I'm going to choose lower here, down to 100. So then going through the sort of parameters, I always keep sort of stock other than the count in to wait note. And then from there I start. So I'll hit record here. You can hear hopefully my metronome going there. And so I'll just play something simple here. So right now I'm just adding a bass and a snare drum, kick and snare. So now you can hear that playing. And so now what I'm going to do, instead of switching sort of pads off of pad 8 here, I'm going to stay on pad 8 and just arm record again. And then I'm going to wait until the meter gets back to the beginning of the loop. And then I can overdub this. So now I've added the hi-hats in there. And then what I'm going to do is sort of my example of building a song out of this. Let's say that I want to keep all my pianos instead of other layers. Otherwise, you can certainly switch to track 1 and pick a new instrument. So maybe I'll pick a bass line there. And then what I would do is save that. I'll stop it for a second here and write that. And I'll just change it to something different for a minute here. Pattern X, that's fine. And I'll save it there and do OK. And then what I'll do is I'll immediately write it again. And I'll say pattern Y now. And I'll move it down one sort of bank or one user patch here. And I'll write it there too. So now I have identical copies of it. And in the second one then, what I'll do to sort of make a different portion of the song is I'll record it again. And I'll change back to my drum kit here. So I'll hit play and then record. And let's say I'm going to just add a bunch of crashes for no reason here, or cowbells. So now this one should have the cowbell coming in here. Let's see if it maybe didn't into it here. So, hopefully, there we go, there's the cowbells. So now what I'll do, for simplicity here, is I'll stop this and I'll save it again in the same spot. Overwrite it. And now to sort of show my example of what I was thinking, is I'll go back to user 11 here for a second, and I'll start this pattern. So you can hear there's no cowbell in there right now. I'm going to let it play all the way through here once, and I'd pretend that this is an intro here to a song. So it's going to start it again, but now what I'm going to do, so let's say after this I want it to go into a chorus that has that cowbell. I'll choose 12 now. So now when it hits the end of this pattern sequence, it should jump to 12 automatically. And now the cowbell. So all I did was use the rotary here. I just switched it back and forth, so you could line up a song that way, and that's the way that I've been using it lately. Obviously beyond just a drum kit, but so yeah, that's a way to go back and forth between patterns in a particular song. Potentially have 3 or 4 different song sections that you could arm with advanced notice in a song pretty easily. So I hope this helps.